All right, so this one has to do with like women careers and there's a trinity of like women careers and something else. But after watching a video about Fresher Fit, I do believe that careers and jobs are not for women. All right, because I do feel like women, you have to choose a family or a career, a family or a job. All right, a man or a career, kids or a career. Right, man. I think having, because I do believe that women's job. I think when they get young and they go find a job that make it through life, your job should be a hobby. All right, because I do think the basic necessities in a hobby that you enjoy, that pays the bills, that also doesn't put in certain traits that men find annoying as fuck. Assertive, dominated, not agreeable. Um, but all these small little job, like hobby jobs that you guys can find, would show a lot of stuff because cashiering, you're good at dealing with people. You're dealing with you know running around the store, the stock shelves. Those are all traits that are actually good in a mother. Someone that's organized, someone that's good at following directions, someone that's good at dealing with multiple people, multiple kids, because guys don't want just one or two kids, right? There might be some out there, but most guys no, they want a family, and family typically means three, four, five, 6 to 8 kids. I want a lot of kids. Um, I have 5, and I'm not done. Um, but for right now, I am. But those small little hobby jobs that you guys can get just to pay the bills, this and that, and it also, like, if you don't go to the clubs, and you save your money and you just go home and you hang out with just your girly friends at home, you don't go out. That shows that will put you in a. I think my prospect that will put you in a light because you are responsible. You're not doing stupid shit without having to have a man tell you not to do it. You're not doing it at all. So that to me, that's a green flag. Um, and it's just like it puts you in a different light. I think when you just try to find a job that just pays your bills, gives you a little cash, so you can go out, get food, maybe go see a movie. Um, it doesn't mean you have to stay home. I mean, you can go to a club every now and then. Just know, like when you're going to the watering hole, like for animals, like when you go to a watering hole to get something to drink, all right, just like you girls go to the club to get have some girl night. You know that men are gonna be there. Predator animals are gonna be there, and why you're going to the watering hole, why you're going to the club, is not relevant. All right, because the predator is not going to the watering hole to hang out. He's going to the watering hole to get a piece of that ass and get some lunch. Right. So like, that's why I think that the watering hole is the club. The prey is a woman and the predator is a man. All right. I think it's the best analogy that I can think of for the whole girl club shit. Um, but when it comes to a job, I think like a career, a family, or a man, a family. Guys, we can focus on all three. We have a 90% chance of getting all three. If I focus on my job, I focus on it enough, it'll make it a career. It'll make me a lot of money. And then I can have a wife and I can have kids. And honestly, Men can focus 10, 20, 30, 40 years on a job to make himself up there, all right, without having to worry about um, a wife and kids right away. We can wait, all right. We can hibernate for a few summers, or for a few winters, or summers, and just save our shit, and just get our status up there, and make sure we have everything taken care of. Make sure our debt's taken care of, make sure we have money put aside for kids, for a wedding, this and all that. To take my wife out for traveling, pay a good amount of money for somebody to watch the kids, or pay for a nanny to come with us so we go on a trip and have an extra pair of hands, or have some family come with us or friends come with us to help us out. Um, but women, you have a 90% chance of not getting all three. If you get a man and a career, you're probably gonna miss out on kids. If you get career and kids, you're gonna miss out on man. All right, like you guys are gonna have to give up one. That's why you guys are better off being at the home. It's been I don't know how many times we have to prove it that women are more happier when they don't have to stress out about this, stress out about that. Just be home with a family. I mean, like, come on now, like the house and all that is all you have to worry about. Making sure the family has something to eat, making sure dinner's ready, making sure the house clean, making sure this and that. You know, when I come home, like we hang out for minutes, you just be there next to me. Um, I'm not saying men can't, help around out the house, and men can't rub their woman's feet and this and all that. Um, because they definitely do deserve it. I'm not saying like don't be a douchebag to your housewife. That's where I think the like 1950s look of the housewife kind of gets a bad rap because everybody just automatically says, "Oh well, he beats her, nobody says anything," and oh he's like, shh. Like, I know there's flaws in the 1950s way of doing things. I ain't stupid, but I do think it was better. All right, like everything had issues. All right, but I do think it was a better way of life than what we have now. and oh, and I'm sorry, but like I'm dealing with the same issue in my girl's relationship with her first. Because like the whole cheating thing and children and all that. I'm sorry, ladies, but a man that has kids will have a far better chance on finding somebody to replace you than you will have a chance being a single mom to replace him. All right, because unfortunately, in your guys' basic biology, you see a man with kids and all that, and you guys can say, "Oh, I don't want a man with kids," but inside your brain, you're like, "Well, somebody else wants to build a family with this guy, so he can't be that bad." So you guys will go. I mean, you guys go after married men. I know this personally because I was married and I had a wedding ring, and I had more. I had girls just flock. It was like a magnet. Um, but as soon as I got divorced, that magnet power went away. All right, so you women, all right, but men don't want women with children. All right, will you find some men that can work with it and tolerate it and put up with it? Sure, but a good majority of men, especially men up there in status, don't want that. So you ladies that have kids, work it out with the baby daddy. Because if he like, there's a guy that says if he don't want you, what makes you think I'm going to? Like, why would I want to put up with you if your baby daddy doesn't want to put up with you? Um, I'm dating single moms, and I also know that it's a lot to put on your shoulders. So yes, I'm gonna teach my son no, no. If she's got kids, it's a no. You're not ready for that, dude. Like I was like 30 something, and just trying to like get figure it out myself, and I wasn't ready for single moms. All right, it has so like other kids are involved, and you have kids with them, and then society pits you and the mom against each other, like, oh, because like it's the mom, so the mom automatically has more rights than the father, which yet they want to put it on men if you guys get pregnant, but yet you women have all the power on killing the kid, birth control, making me wear a condom, child support. If I don't pay child support, I go to jail. But you're allowed to kill a kid. Like, make that one make sense. I go to jail because I didn't pay my child support, but you're allowed to kill the child. That makes no sense. All right, that's the main reason why I have a problem with women, because you guys are so backwards. Um, I'm sorry, but I think men should just take back everything and just you like. It sounds misogynist. I know it does, but like no, I don't care. Um, but yeah, I think we should just women just shush, be seen, not heard. Because I mean, like I love having a conversation with my old lady. I love having talks with her, but she's not as. I mean, she's getting there, but she's not as passionate when as I am with having these intellectual future talks about kids and scenarios and politics and religion as much as I am. She's into it, and every now and then she shows a little bit more interest in it, but she's not as devoted as I am into it. So like that's one of the things I believe that why men are just better at leaders, because we got Odin's future sight. All right, we think like 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years advance, and, straight into the future. Um, the scenarios that my kids might go be involved in because of the kind of dad they have. I mean, I'm just taking. I know times have changed. I know this is not the time that I was a kid, but I know where my mind was at that time and that age, and during this situation, hanging out with these kind of people, and what I wanted to do. You know, so I'm preparing for that, but always know that times can change and they can always outdo your crazy shit. And with all that shit going around now, like kids are. I mean, it used to be back in the day where like like, oh well, they're over at Bob and Jill's, and it was unknown, it was untalked, like, oh well, they're probably drinking, the kids are probably being wild over there, but you knew Bob and Jill were watching them. You knew they were safe. Every kid drinks a beer and whatnot, this and all that, when they were young. Okay, I mean, since the 20s to now, teenagers have been drinking beer like forever. All right, do you want it to? No, but you also find that the more times you try to stop it, the quicker it happens. So, I mean, I'm gonna have a talk with my kids because I don't want them doing drugs, weed or meth or anything. I don't want them doing liquor. I mean, but I'm not stupid. I know because of the guy that they have as a dad. There's a good chance that they'll probably do it. Um, but I know with the mindset I have now, there's a good chance they might not. Because I'll have a real talk with them and have a conversation with them. But I also do believe that women, they're like recon, all right, because especially with men that are hurt and are bottling it up, their mom goes in there and talks to them at times because it hurts, things hurt, and they're able to get out the crying or the complaining without being judged, and nurturing. And then the guy goes in there and he helps rebuild that frame that was broken. And you teach him about how it's not manless, it's not ballless if you cry. And that's the one thing I find really funny is that it's not that you're not a man because you cry. It's not manly if you allow that emotion to control you like it does women. Just because men are stern and hard doesn't mean we don't break. We are not indestructible. Um, we hurt, we feel. We just handle it differently than you women do. Because I'm sorry about that. Like if men acted like women, we'd have a lot more dead people and a lot more women fucked up, and our society would be chaos if we just act like women and just let our emotions come out. Because I mean, like that's why men need to control their emotions like we do. But our control over our emotions doesn't mean we're emotionally illiterate. Doesn't mean we don't have emotions. It just means we can control them. And that's a good thing. And it's not the same if a man sees his woman cry. It's not the same. We don't get bugged by it. I mean, in lighter terms, it's more we get drawn into it because we want to like wrap our arms around her and comfort her. I mean, we do want to comfort you, but we also want to fix your problem. But sometimes the fixing the problem is just holding her. All right. Sometimes you don't need to fix her problem. You just need to help her deal with it and deal with how it and help her deal with how it makes her feel. Because women, I mean, you have problems, yes, but you don't. There's no real solution for your problems. Because it's just how something makes you feel or how this, ruin your day. Like, I'm not gonna say you guys don't have problems, but your problems aren't. There's no fix and solution for them. It's just life. Your feelings were hurt. Like on a 1 to 5 level of real problems, you guys have like level one. You know, easy mode problems, where guys have hardcore mode and we have hardcore problems. Doesn't mean you don't have them. It's just there's nothing to do. It's just but help her deal with her emotions, and because she lost her job or this or that, her you're fixing her problems. It's just holding her 90% of the time, if not more. Um. Oh, and the other thing about like this has to do with like because men this has just go on like part of the other topic about cheating and like I'm sorry like when it comes to single moms, single dads, like stick with him because I'm sorry like you ladies getting cheated on is not the same as men getting cheated on. You guys fucking another dude and possibly getting pregnant by another dude and then going back to your man is not the same thing as me going to fuck another bitch and getting them pregnant and coming back to you. You see how your cheating gets brought into the family and my cheating gets taken out of the family? Like I know it's not fair. I know. I'm not saying it is fair. I'm not saying it is right. And I'm not saying I don't think it's a bad idea to maybe talk about it and maybe find a solution to where it can stop. Because I get it. It sucks. It sucks to be with somebody and then find out they're fucking other people. All right. We're not lying. We're not heartless. We understand that. And I do think I have a little bit of discipline, but cause, I mean, I'm a little different. Like, do I want to? Yes, but I'm sorry. I'm content and happy with my girl that I have, my wife that I have. I'm content and happy and blessed with the family that I have. And women nowadays, I'm so good. They can stay over there. They're like it's too much work, too much of a hassle to go out and find another chick, especially now. Especially now, like when I don't have much of an income because it's going to my family. So like when I go get a job, I don't want to put that money into somebody else. Like I'll put it in my household. I'll put it in my family, my wife. Um, but I was a whore back in the day, you know, and I mean, any guy that says like the threesome with his woman and another chick or go fuck another bitch when your girl won't cause problems and says they don't want to do it is lying. I want to do it. I do, but it's not worth it. And man, on another note, like once you get older, just fucking and fucking and fucking and fucking and fucking and getting your dick sucked and eating this and doing that, it gets old. It really gets old, and I do think it wears on a man's mindset. Maybe not as much as a woman. I think it weighs on a woman way more, but it does weigh on a man. Having two, three, four, 500 fucking bodies under your belt, it wears on you. So I can only imagine with some of these men out there, because I mean, my number like it's pretty high and all that, but there's men that have triple, 5 times, 10 times more body count than I do, or can even think about having. With, I mean, no offense, ladies, but with way hotter chicks that I've touched. Um, that's another thing. Like my men are waking up, and that's why I think the whole winter's coming and all, ladies. And when I've had to have a talk with my wife about like chivalry is dead, marriage is dying, and yes, it's you women's fault. I'm not saying it's completely your guys' fault because we allowed it. That's the best word I have. I don't care about how it sounds. Um, we allowed it. We could have told you just to shut up. We could have told you no, this is not happening. As no matter what you're looking at, whether it's government or religion, we could have been a good shepherd. We could have been a good leader. We could have been a good man, and just said no, shut up, lady. We're not doing this. Get the fuck back there. But we wanted to listen to you, ladies, and happy wife, happy life. Fuck that quote. I'm sorry. Fuck that quote. That right there. That's why, like, it's part of the problem. It's not happy wife, happy life. All right. Like that is not how you have a happy life. It's not. It's not even about a happy husband. It's a happy family. Your happiness, my happiness, doesn't mean jack shit once we become and we build a family. Once we're established and we have a family, my happiness and your happiness means dog shit. All right, it means nothing. Our happiness ties in with the family. If our kids are good, if they're happy, if they're smiling, if they're healthy, if I'm able, I mean, like able to have kids, if I have my kids with me, that's happiness. My joy of playing video games and smoking dope and smoking weed and doing this and spending money here and fucking this bitch, like, and my minuscule empty existence of happiness means dog shit compared to waking up 2 hours before my family, drinking some coffee, smoking a bowl of weed, smoking a cigarette before I wake up my girls, get them breakfast, watch Cocomelon for the 100,000th time, going insane listening to that music, listening to them laugh, peeking in on my wife and my girls playing, and just smiling, you know, that's happiness. I do truly do believe that, kids are the meaning of life. What the point is, I'm still working on. But I do think the meaning of life, the meaning of our existence per se, or half of the meaning of existence, is kids. Have kids. Have a lot of kids. Kids, kids, kids. All right. Like, I'm also like one of the I don't know what the percentage is about men like this, but I'm a guy that gets a kink out of getting kids pregnant, not kids pregnant. I've already spent 25 minutes talking, so I'm not going back. But getting women pregnant, all right, women. I don't know, but excuse my word on that one. So not what I fucking meant. Um, but getting women pregnant, a little kink. My mouth is all caught mouth now because I'm fucking spazzing out about what I just said. Um, and these are the moments that really fucking fuck your head because like somebody's probably down the line because like when I may become famous and all that, people are gonna find this video and take that small little clip of what I said and just try to cancel me. But I have a kink about getting women pregnant and pregnant women, and I love fucking kids. I love making faces at them, at the store. Um, but guys have to worry about all this. Like, I'm paranoid about just change my own kids' diapers, not because it's ooh you yuck, no, but I'm just uncomfortable now because of society. Changing my daughter's diaper, I'm just uncomfortable because nowadays people can just accuse you of this, accuse you of that without any evidence, and then call the police or CPS and have your kids taken away. But now that fuck up comment that I made, fuck on my head, lose my train of thought where I was. Um, but yeah, that's my little insight on jobs and careers and kids and pregnancy and men and women. And I think if women could get a thicker skin, a little bit, have a little bit of masculinity, a little thicker skin, and be able to handle truth, men can speak truth because that's the only thing that men need to work on is being honest. But women can't handle honesty, blunt, raw honesty. Women can't handle it. They spaz out. So I think women need to just get a thicker skin, hone in on their logical side of their mind, be rational, reasonable, factual based, truth hearing, and men just need to just be honest. Can we work on how we are saying it? Maybe not be so raw. Sure, we can work on the wording, um, but we need to be more honest. Our communication between men and women suck. Um, but yeah, women need to stop being so promiscuous online. I think it's really funny is like the main women that bitch about DVs are the women that fucking like to watch serial killer documentaries at night before they go to sleep, or they want to pen pal a nutbag in jail. All right, and don't sexualize me. Don't treat me like a piece of meat, but then act like a piece of meat. Um, the women that just are so like feminists are just a nutbag. Like no, anyway, any woman has a trait of feminism or if the feminist Nazi squad, my men are my brothers, men, sons, stay away from. All right, if they have one feminist red flag, walk away. If they believe in equality and teamwork and partnership, red flag. If they think men and women are equal, red flag. As a human based life form of higher being, yes, we have equal value. You know, I don't know how. I mean, but we're not. But it's not always exactly equal because even in life value, I mean, if you take it to a swap meet, and think about aliens, and who do you think aliens would put a higher price on men or women. I mean, it's no different than like, back in the day, slavery. All right, the big, black men. I'm pretty sure they were more expensive, but and women were taken care of more because they were thought to be cattle. Get the woman so you can get the big guy that impregnate her, so you can get another slave. But the big guy, we want the big guy because he's gonna have a good offspring, and he's gonna be useful at the plantation. You know, like it's the same thing with all humans, men and women. With the alien out there, who do you think the aliens would pay more for? Men or women? Uh, women. I mean, but I do think on a basic, just innocent purity scale of life, I do think men and women are equal. We're both worth $1 million, $1 billion. Our life is neither one of us is less valuable. But on a society, building a society and a civilization and a race and a history, men are men are important in building society and keeping the human race alive. Women are just used to keep the human race alive. You guys don't benefit anything to society. You keep us in debt. You spend a lot, um, but you guys don't produce anything in society besides more children. That's what you guys benefit. You guys benefit to civilization continuing. We benefit into continue the civilization and to building the system that civilization uses. So like we yeah, and just be just raw with this thought process. Um, and just not. I mean, I'm not saying be completely numb and cold to feelings and how certain things make you feel. There we go. Um, but you how what I say can hurt your feelings. That's fine. I get it. I understand. But what did I say that was wrong? Because that's two different things. Like how I said it, yes, I get it. It's a little rough. It hurt your feelings. You don't like what I said. All right, I get that. But now stay with me. All right, and explain to me what I said was wrong. I get it was the wrong way to say it. But what did I say was wrong? Did I say anything that was wrong or a lie or not factual base? I get it. Like, yeah, you don't like to be cursed at. All right. Or you don't like the words that I used in describing my opinion. But what about my theory and opinion and feelings was wrong? Or maybe they should leave feelings out of that one. But my opinion and theories about a topic, you might not like how I describe the topic, but what about it was wrong? Um, I think that's where we need to stay more based in logic, foundation based reality instead of emotional roller coaster, clusterfuck. I mean, emotions is typically how society falls because people get selfish and greedy and vain and egotistic. And then you lose your. That's what Maya was talking about with the whole like not gonna fall in love because like is he gonna have is he gonna love his wife or wives? Does he respect women? Yes. Is he gonna like cherish the woman that he chooses to have kids with? Yes. Does he love her? Would he take a bullet for her? More than likely. But to fall completely head over heels in love like a 16-year-old schoolgirl, all right, for a guy is dangerous. That's when we get blindsided. That's when we, don't pay attention to things. That's when our senses are not sharpened. And whether women mean to or not, women pick up on it. And once we get all Google with them, whether they acknowledge it or not, they slowly start to change too. And they feel suffocated and they think they can get one over on him and they start to lose a little bit of respect and love for him when he's acting like the chick. Because that's chick emotion. I'm sorry, but the whole head over heels, like, oh my God, I can't, like, no, that's a chick fucking way to show love. All right. Like, because men, we weren't just all like skipping down the line with flowers in our arms and say, here you go. Yeah, I bought these for you. No. We were, even when we were being romantic and all that, we were still stern. Like, we, like, aren't that, like, no. All right. Um, like, we, held up in our arm to walk with them, but we were stern. We used to throw our coats over the puddle, and hold our hand out and help them walk over. We used to hold doors over for a lady. We used to pull the chair out for ladies, pay the tab. But see, like, a lot of stuff wasn't even known as the male thing to do. It just was. I mean, it just was. Like, we had, I mean, and I think during the whole feminist movement, that's when I think we designed the whole male role and female role. Before, it was just how the world worked, how things got turned around. We didn't look at it as like, oh, that's how a man's supposed to act. Like, that's the men role. That's how we work. And I think it was not until like the feminist movement is when we had the, oh, women belong in the kitchen. Oh, look, your dishwasher's running away as it's your wife leaving. You go to her job. Um, your sandwich maker 3000, broke because you and your woman broke up. Like, and then, like, anything that made a man, willing to wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning to go work, stay at the office an extra hours. But then it's like, then we actually brought women into the office. And, if women would have stayed out of the work field, you wouldn't have to worry about that hot secretary working with your man. All right. And probably finer than you are. And probably wants that raise that your husband can give her. Like, so, like, there's a catch 22 in this whole feminist movement. All right. If women just stayed at home and did this and all that, you wouldn't have to worry about your man hanging out with secretaries or going on business trips with this secretary, you know. And secretary used to be, I mean, to see if you were just, a secretary or if you have potential for the company. I mean, that's how I look at a secretary. I don't think anybody that becomes a secretary, it's like a TA. I don't think anybody that becomes a secretary, especially a man, wants to stay a secretary. Or maybe he does. I mean, I can't remember, but I mean, they don't make bad money, I think. Especially if you're with a good company and a good organization, you can make some good money as a secretary. And I mean, if you have a good boss and you're like, he gets my paperwork on time, he has me copy when I first come in. He met he caught this on some of my paperwork. Like, he makes sure all these deals are set up so I can just go in and wham bam. Like, boss is looking for that kind of shit and has no problem throwing you a Christmas bonus or two because you make me some money. Even that, I mean, that's where I think, like, he made my job easier and smoother. And I think that's how women should think about it. It's like, you're making my life easier and smoother, which I'm gonna make your life cushier and fluffier. All right, you don't give me a headache. I give you a fucking like a trip to Bahamas. Or I come home and I'm just like sober, had a great day, and I come home and I come home after just a stressful day at work, and I come home and it's like, as soon as I walk in, because of my woman, the moment I walk in, it just melts away because I know I don't have to wear the armor. I know I don't have to do this and that. A man always has to be on his toes when it comes to society, but in my home and with my woman, I don't have to watch my back. I don't have to have this long discussion. Like, it's just peace. And men, But you also have to keep it balanced because of that right there. If you get too comfortable in your own home, that's when shit hits the fan too. I'm a firm believer of that. Don't get too comfortable because you never know what's gonna happen. And as much as your wife might not bitch your ear off and this and all that, doesn't mean life won't throw you other curveballs that will annoy the shit out of you. As soon as you get home, your wife's, got you a sandwich, brought you beer, and all of a sudden, knock, 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 somebody comes knocking on the door, bill collectors, this, that, a friend that's just got broken up, and it's just like, oh God, I just want to eat my sandwich and beer and sit next to my woman and watch some TV. Like, I don't want to listen to your friends bitch and complain and, go to the room and talk if you need to. Just make it quick so you can come out here, you know, and be lean, I get it. He broke up, but it's like I do believe modern women give their female friends dog shit advice. So I think that in that predicament, it's like where men need to start acting more like the fathers and brothers of everybody. That's kind of why I act the way I act. I'm trying to be the father, the brother, and the friend to everybody, and just keep it real with everyone. That's why I call out a lot of. That's why I call out women on the internet because, like, I'm sorry, you guys need to be called out. Men don't need to be called out. All right, and when it does, life and his friends will do it just fine. And men can call themselves out a whole lot easier than women can. But I don't know. I just think that this is my thoughts. Um, take it or leave it. Um, but I think if you actually think about what I say, I don't think you can deny it so much. Um, but yeah, tell me your. I mean, I wish more people would leave me comments, whatnot, or hit me up, or stitch with my videos so they can tell me their opinions on what I say instead of just slandering me with my teeth and you know, my teeth, my eyebrow, and how I talk. Those are the best insults that people fucking come up with. I think I had some guy say or some person say I was like the knockoff. I mean, I don't know, remember the word they used, but I think it was pretty much meaning, I'm the knockoff version of Andrew Tate, which I like Pearl said, I find that a compliment, honestly. Um, I like that one comment that Pearl said is to believe, to think that you would agree with somebody's, thoughts 100%, kind of naive. I don't think anybody agrees with anybody 100%. Unless you by chance find somebody that has the same thoughts and opinions about a topic like you do, then you can probably agree with each other 100%. And nobody has the same opinions and feelings about things. Might have similarities, but nobody's 100% on the same page as, I mean, because I think it's the same thing with me and my girlfriend, my wife, she doesn't agree with a lot of opinions I have, but she can't really argue with them. So, yeah. Um, I'm gonna go get my kids up. Um, I'm gonna end this video now, and you guys have a good one, right?